Now. Okay. 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 There we go. Hello, everyone. another wonderful, another wonderful night on this beautiful planet, this beautiful universe, this beautiful existence. You know what I'm saying? Embrace, embrace the time and day that you're in because it's a very beautiful time. Even though the fear mongers try to say that they try to fear you down, make it look like it's the end of the world and it's good stuff. But no, it's a beautiful time to be alive. That you had to come here in this time frame. This is the Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. I'm your bro Muzosa Oncat, aka your brozo, here for another beautiful, wonderful episode of the Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. We have another amazing guest. Very excited about tonight because if y'all haven't seen this good brother before, y'all will know now because he has tons of information, pertinent information for this day and time. Very necessary, and the good brother has a good cause as well. We're gonna talk about that. If you haven't already, please go to polka.rabbitpodcast.com. Pick up my book, Bicultural Living and Leaving the World of Illusions. Polka Dot Rabbit Podcast. We are here to uplift humanity, and we're also here to help and assist aiding the waking up of the melanated woody hen zombies that have been asleep for quite some time, and now are finally starting to out of their amnesia. And I'm very happy to assist in that, and also spread information, really of peace and love to anybody that can embrace that. You know what I mean? And also positive enliftment. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're here for. So enough of me. I'm done. I'm gonna go ahead and let the good brother Seth here tell him who he is, what he has going on, and go ahead, brother. You got it.
All right. Hey, right now I want you to put your book back up because we actually did not get to see that book. Just slowly put that book back up. Okay, people.
Yeah. Let me see if it'll come. Oh, that's me.
Yeah,
Let's see if
that's him.
I.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I'm Seth. I'm part of one of the administrators over here at Adamite Kingdom Ministries. We have a phenomenal team. Sybil Pepper Spencer, that's my wife. We have Sylvia and Tanika. They also are the vice president and treasurer and secretary of our organization. And what we do is that we have an outreach program, and we try to get out there in the city of Atlanta and also in surrounding counties in Georgia. We try to get out there and we hand out essentials to the homeless population. And as you know, Atlanta has a big homeless population. Surrounding counties also have a big homeless population, but not just those essentials, not just the food and water and toiletries that the homeless population needs. We give them words of encouragement. Also, sometimes we talk to them about how to make that transition from being homeless to maybe getting into one of the shelters, and from the shelters to get into a work program. And that's what we kind of mainly are concentrating on is getting those people from the homeless side to the work side and get them back to being productive citizens here in Georgia. So that's one of the main things we try to do over here at Adamite Kingdom Ministries. No, we're not always, casting people to hell and all this other stuff. We really try to give that helping hand. So we're more of that faith without works. We believe in that. Faith without works is dead. So we do the work portion of our faith, and we get out there and we really try to make sure that people are actually seeing folks give out things and actually help people. So, giving out food, giving out toiletry essentials, which is desperately needed right now. So we are taking donations. It's right down there in the chat. You see, we can go to the Zelle, Adamite Kingdom uh, at gmail.com. You can give out that. You can Zelle us. Because, folks, when we were walking out there this winter, we really did see a lot of things that are going to start shaking your core. You're used to seeing, the homeless black man on the streets. You're used to seeing, um, the guys with the scruffy beards and tattered clothes and mumbling to themselves, this, that, and the other. But I'm telling you right now, that homeless population is changing. We're seeing more females, more families, more children. They are out there. They are in the bushes. They are in the bushes of Atlanta. They're under the crawl space, under the bridges. You're seeing in those homeless camps. And we want to make sure that we're trying to give something to them so they're not going to do anything that's crazy when they get desperate. And the thing about it is, people, if we can give us a little bit of helping hand now, maybe we can start making a dent in some of this craziness that's going on out there. And hopefully and prayerfully, nobody else will be homeless out there, because we are seeing a large uptick in the homeless population. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It is not going down. It is rising pretty fast. And it's not the people that you think. A lot of folks just think, oh, it's the black folks out there that are homeless. I saw everybody. Okay. There's white, black, Asian, Indian. They are all out there. They're homeless. They're in desperate need. Not all of them are on drugs. A lot of them, a lot of these folks are new homeless people. Just lost jobs, cars, from a medical situation. We have veterans out there, which is really shaking folks to the core, because there should not be any veterans on the streets of Atlanta who are homeless. It just should not be that way. You served your country, and there is programs that are out there that help veterans to shake off some of the stuff that they brought back, and hopefully they will be able to get into these programs, and from those programs they will get the necessary training again to be back productive citizens. And that's what we want to get to is help them get back to being productive citizens.
So what is it that because I know there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and I'm sure a lot of people don't understand like what a lot of things behind the scene that's making this happen. So what do you think that is some of the things that are making all these homeless, making all these families homeless and all these people homeless?
um, some of it has to do with bad policies that are in place, and that's from top down, sideways. It's not just a Democrat. It's not just a Republican. It is a top down, a breakdown of society, family values, and it's also a breakdown in the overall condition of trying to go and meet expectations that are not really real. When you want to live in a fantasy land of always just spending money, and not putting money back, you're just out there spending and spending money because you have never been taught how to save your money, how to organize stuff, how to make sure you have residual income. And then you meet up now with today's society, and today's society is telling you to keep spending, keep spending. That's what America's based up off of. Is America's truly based up off of, we need you to believe that America is number one always. And we always need to believe that America is safe. And we always need to make sure that you're out there spending. So go out there into restaurants and spend money at restaurants. Make sure you go to the malls and spend money. Make sure you get your shoes, this, that, and the other. So it's always spend, 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 spend. Well, there comes a point to where you're not having any money set aside, saved, put back. And it's just that one little paycheck that you don't get, that car that breaks down, and now you don't have the money to fix it because that's a $3,000 bill, and then you got a
Yeah.
$5,000 car note, and the repo man is coming around the corner, and
Hmm.
your mortgage is due, and the job just said, hey, we're going to lay off because we're not getting our orders in because, as you know, what the summer, past summer, hey, all our shipments are sitting off seas, and
Sitting off sea. Yep. Offshore. Yep.
we, we can't get them in. And all of a sudden now, the job is saying we got to cut back.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's a crazy thing, especially too.
Domino effect.
Yeah, it's a domino effect. It happens
Hmm.
just that quick.
Hmm.
When you don't have family members, when you don't have friends, uh,
Hmm.
and really it's family members who you lean on. You really
Yeah.
don't lean
Yeah.
on a lot of friends. You lean on family members. But when your family members are in the same predicament, that domino effect, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're living in your car.
Yeah. It to me, it's like the American dream is going from the, like you said earlier, the American dream. The veil is being lifted and realizing it's an illusion. And now, for a lot of people, it's becoming an American nightmare. Literally. You know,
Yes.
and it's interesting to me because the more, like, I like to travel a lot, and you know a lot of people I see outside of America, because they're not groomed and conditioned to want the American dream. Their concept of living is so much more real than this illusion here. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? It's like over here, it's like a fantasy line. Like, it's amazing to me. It's like all these people, they was just worry about, oh, what college you go to, and all this kind of stuff, and all this fantasy stuff, and people around the world don't buy into this. You know
No.
what I mean? They
No.
don't buy into it. They don't care about. I mean, but anyway, I digress. You know what I'm saying?
No.
but
I hear
yeah.
you because
Hmm.
just the other day I was
Hmm.
traveling and I came to a stop sign,
Yeah.
and I looked over, and a guy had a Suzuki. Remember
Hmm.
those little Suzuki Jeeps?
Samurais.
Yeah, those little Suzuki Samurais, right? And I started laughing because I said, man, I used to love those things because first of all, when my wife and me got married, when we went on our honeymoon, we rented one of those Suzuki Samurais, and it was like the
Hmm.
greatest time ever,
Hmm.
just jumping into the little Samurai,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
beach, and no worries, no
Hmm.
thinking about air conditioning, no thinking about
Yeah.
what the car looked like, what it just didn't, if it had a radio, if it didn't have, we're just driving, right?
Yeah.
Having a good time. And so it brought back a lot of memories. But
Hmm.
now, I mean, to get caught dead driving,
Yeah. Yeah.
you just don't do it. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just crazy.
it,
So
it's all shifted, and it's interesting because I personally, um me personally, I really like to see how the illusion is falling, because you really do see how this stuff really is.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And I say all the time, perfect example, like when the COVID stuff hit. It's like, if you I'm perfect example, Amish person, okay?
mm-hmm,
An Amish person.
mm-hmm,
How would COVID affect an Amish person at all? These people are going absolutely nuts. You know what I'm saying? Going ape shit. Excuse my French, or whatever. About going ape shit about this world. Oh, fear, fear, fear. This. But how would that affect people that aren't in the system? It doesn't. You know
mm-hmm.
what I mean? You got to be a part of the beast for it to affect you at all. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to be a part of. Well, actually, you got to believe in the system.
Yeah.
System
Exactly.
break down
Yeah.
for then you in turn to be scared of the system. So they you first got to be a part of the system,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's just the thing is that that's one of the things that we're doing at Adamite Kingdom Farm is that
Hmm.
we're getting away from some of the stuff. I mean, just on the 22nd, we're going to Alabama to go and pick up some mules.
Okay.
You know, and a lot of people don't understand. It's like, well, why do you want mules? Of all things, you want mules? I mean,
Yeah.
isn't that slavery?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
no, brother. I mean, let's look at it. If I just saw where kerosene is $6.
Hmm.
Diesel 409,
Hmm.
gasoline 379. I mean, and now we're talking about uh, BRICS coming into effect, to where you have Saudi Arabia, China, India, Russia, South Africa, all joining together, and them being able to control the monetary resources.
Mm-hmm.
You see skyrocketing fuel prices.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
skyrocketing
Skyrocket. Yep.
fuel prices. So
Mm-hmm.
for me not to look at that and
Yeah.
say, let me go and get some mules, because
Mm-hmm.
I might not be able to run this tractor.
Exactly.
I can't run this
Exactly.
tractor. I can't feed my family. If I don't get these chickens now, if I don't get these goats now, if I don't get these sheep right now, if I'm not investing into my fish farm, hey, I might
Mm-hmm.
not have it,
Yep.
because it's really going to be back-breaking work
Yeah.
to make sure I'm clearing land and doing stuff like that. But if I don't get that now, if I don't see the future and
Yeah.
say, you know what,
Exactly.
I need to make this change real quick, I might not need to go get that $60,000 Kubota
There you
tractor.
go.
Maybe I need to go get the $850 mule and a harness and learn how to control him,
Yeah.
because he can do the same. See, that's the way the Amish have always been thinking,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Simplicity and sustainability.
right.
Is it? Yeah.
And that's always part of the Adamite Kingdom. That's part of the faith group. Now, the
Yeah.
Adamite Kingdom Ministries group, we are out there because we've already seen what society has done, what they've thrown away, and
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to do our best to make sure that they have a little bit, because
Yeah.
we've also seen where that society, when they don't have even the basics, when they can't even get
Mm-hmm.
bread, no water, hey,
Mm-hmm.
that whole group can do something else real quick.
It, it,
So
it it's very interesting to me because if you know, and if you know the way that these people that quote unquote control the world, they put everything in front of you. Everything in front of you. So when you have your president that says there's going to be a food shortage, you know what I'm saying, or you see these movies out there when train derailments happen and it's poisoning all the same ways in same area they said in the movies, you know
yeah, that
you have to, Kroger and Publix, they already shut down Walmart's now. This stuff is going to be real.
yeah, it's here now, so that they give you bits and pieces.
Hmm.
They're telling you in advance,
Hmm.
and then they turn around and do it because they want to see, okay, well, how will they react?
Yeah,
What is the
exactly.
pushing point until
Hmm.
society breaks?
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to give them a little bit right here and a
Hmm.
little bit right here, and
Hmm.
something over here, but this part we're going to go ahead and let that break over there. You know, whether it's in Ohio,
Yeah.
okay, we're going to let this break over here.
Hmm.
They're not even supposed to have all of that stuff on one rail cart.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're supposed to
Exactly.
break those rail carts up, but they're not supposed to travel all together
Together. Yeah.
like that. That's
Hmm.
supposed to be broken up. Nope, travel all together. Switch goes off, goes bad. Oh
Hmm.
yeah, we go 10 miles past the yard that's supposed to catch the switch.
Hmm.
That's supposed to catch the saying that the tire is running, well, the wheel is running hot. The steel wheel
Hmm.
is running hot on that
Hmm.
brake system. It doesn't catch it. It goes bad.
Yeah.
But what people don't understand is, not only did it not catch it, the next trigger didn't catch it either.
Yeah.
So who unplugged it?
Yeah.
I'm just
Exactly.
asking
It's
unplugged
simple. Common. Yep. Common. Yep. Common sense question. Yep.
it? I mean, right
You
now,
know.
right down the street, where we live, train derailment happened last night.
Dang.
Last night, and they got I don't know how many cars, and it happened right in the middle of town.
Mm.
So they got the whole town, and they got a big train derailment, and you got brand new cars sitting on the side of the road that are all messed up because the train was carrying cars.
Cars. Yeah.
So it's a, and the thing about it is, it's going to get
Hmm.
worse,
Yeah. It's
and,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and they
And
tell
that.
you it's going to get worse.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
So
And
they're telling you the next cycle, which mark my words, is going to be on that Mississippi River, because they
hmm
keep doing so. They just had a
hmm
barge that got messed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they keep telling you, okay, look, this Mississippi River is not going to be able to handle all of our traffic flow. Why? Because last year, oh well, the tides went out, the
Mm-hmm.
water got short,
I remember that.
right? The
They got
barges
stuck.
couldn't get down the way, and so what happened? Well, the food, the grain, all this other stuff goes up. The cost of everything
Exactly.
goes up, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and they're telling you, they're forecasting you that,
Mm-hmm.
hey, these problems are going to occur and keep happening. And then what does FEMA do?
Mm-hmm.
FEMA puts out an ad now with a black family sitting down at the table and the young sister who just got back from college saying that, oh, we should have a FEMA emergency management plan put together. Now, when has FEMA ever came out with some black folks
Yeah.
and say we need to have emergency
Mm-hmm.
management plan put together
Exactly.
just in case a disaster
Exactly.
like a tornado happens?
Mm-hmm.
Because black folks don't think about this stuff because we're always
Yeah.
thinking about 40-inch rims and
Mm-hmm.
Nike shoes and hair
Mm-hmm.
weaves and
Yep.
all this other stuff, and get my nails done
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and let me smoke this and this, that, and the other. We're always
Program.
thinking about that, and we're not thinking about, man, did I put something back for a rainy
Mm-hmm.
day? Do I got 6 months supply of food?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have enough fuel, not only just for my cars right now, but do I have 3 or 4 5 gallon tanks lined up? Did I put fuel stabilizers in that? Do I have
Mm-hmm.
communications
Exactly.
besides a cell phone?
Exactly.
Do you have a
Exactly.
ham radio,
Mm-hmm.
walkie talkies? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, these are things that you should be, what's your plans to get your kids back from college?
Yeah.
Do you have an evacuation plan?
Mm-hmm.
Black folks, and this is what really bothers me, is that of all people, we should be the number one group to understand about survival,
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
escape and invade scenarios. We should be the number one group. I mean, you're thinking about folks who went through slavery,
Mm-hmm.
Jim Crow, the
Mm-hmm.
60s, riots, and we're still out here doing the bugaboo stuff
Mm-hmm.
and not paying attention to what's going on,
Yeah.
putting our head in the sand each and
Mm-hmm.
every time. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a hard thing to kind of swallow. But then again, when you ask the question, how does it happen? How does it happen that a whole family ends up homeless?
Mm-hmm.
Then it gets back to those questions. They didn't prepare.
Mm-hmm.
They did not prepare
Yeah.
because these scenarios are going to keep coming up, and there's going to be a lot more of us. I mean, every church
Yeah.
should be preaching about that, not about
Exactly.
putting pimps in the pulpit,
Yep. Yep.
but they should be preaching about, okay, do we have an evacuation plan? Do we
Preparation.
have
Yep.
a meetup plan? Have we prepared for this stuff? But they're
Mm-hmm.
not. They keep talking about everything else
Except reality.
except for what's real, what's
Yep.
right now.
Well, and I would like you, if you could please lay, okay, when you look, if you're really looking to see what's going on in this world, it's obvious that it's being America's being imploded internally. The people are imploding this inside. Why is that? Why are the people that run in this place blowing this place up?
Well, I think you have to go back long ago, but we can start at where most people around our age understand is.
Mm-hmm.
You can go back to the George Bush when he made that comment, a new world order,
New World Order. Mm-hmm.
and a lot of us really don't understand. He wasn't talking about America.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling everybody else, hey, it's time for that new world order to come into
Mm-hmm.
existence.
Mm-hmm.
And right now they have to bring about, and they have brought about that new world order.
Yeah.
Now, we don't like it. because we're not conditioned to it.
Mhm.
But when you start talking about AI, when you start
Mhm.
talking about United Nations being able to uh, globally, secure the globe, hey, that's that new world order.
Mhm.
Uh, and so, yeah, there's a lot of things that are happening um, within the American system that allows people to feel safe on one hand,
Mhm.
scared on the other,
Yeah.
because they really don't know what's going on. And then what ends up happening is that then you have a flux of people who are juggling
Mhm.
every day their livelihood, and then all of a sudden
Mhm.
they're going to start falling through the cracks,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden we're going to see them out there on the street,
Yeah.
and you hear about it because I have other friends that are school teachers, and they tell me about the kids that are coming who are frustrated, who are mad, and you understand why they're mad because hey, Johnny didn't get no food this morning before he went
Yeah.
to school.
Mhm.
Sally didn't get bread, or
Mhm.
Sally's trying, at 9 years old is trying to take care of three other kids, and
Mhm.
it's not her responsibility to take care of those three other kids before she gets on a school bus. She forgot everything. And it's because they're living out of a bad situation, or they're living
Mhm.
out of bars. I tell people, if you really want to take a look at what's going on, go to one of your local Walmarts. Don't go inside. Go in the parking lot
Mhm. I seen it.
and start seeing all those cars with the blinders up,
Mhm.
kids in the car, and people popping their doors and hot. And you're saying to yourself, well, damn, why can't they just they who are they waiting on?
Mhm.
Waiting on nobody.
Mhm.
They live.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks it's a new way to get on YouTube. Hey, I'm living out in my van. No, you just homeless.
Yeah.
The thing you have is a van that's left.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, the next thing people are gonna say, hey, I'm debt free, and I'm living up under a bridge. Yeah, bro, you're homeless.
Yeah.
You know, and they're conditioning all of us to believe that this is the new way of doing it. No, you're bowing out of society
Mhm.
because the American dream has escaped you,
Yeah.
and we no longer believe in it.
Mhm.
You know,
Yep.
we're no longer there to just to believe in the you know the 2.5 children's
Mhm.
the car, the
Mhm.
white house with the
Mhm.
white picket fence,
Mhm.
and the dog and this that and the other.
Mhm.
Nobody believes in that.
Mhm. It, it's very interesting because you know just the day and time we're in, astrologically, and coming to age of Aquarius, etc. And just astrologically, it's like time's up. They're like the illusion, like I keep on saying, time is up. Let's see how this place, how the matrix really looks like. You know what I'm saying? How the matrix, is, how this living is for real, as opposed to when you turn on the tell live vision, the stuff they're feeding you. You know what I mean? And it's interesting, and also interesting thing, if you want to build on this as well, they say that this is year, I think they call it the polydemic, or they're basically saying it's not just going to be a pandemic or something like that. There's going to be numerous things, you know what I'm saying, that are going to come and affect everybody, be it, you know, through economics, through, whatever the case may be. But it's like they're all doing their best to fulfill the Agenda 23, you know?
Well, so it's a polymorphic
Okay.
catastrophe that's getting ready to happen. So
Okay.
what we're
Say that
talking
again.
polymorphic. So
Uh-huh.
it's something that is just not a ball, but it's always moving.
Moving. Okay.
It's lobes. It's this thing sucking here and this thing sucking here,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
it's not a stable concept. It's
Mm-hmm.
morphing around.
Mm.
That polymorph that morphs around is going to give you three or four different famines and biogenetic diseases and
Yeah, yeah.
pride that goes haywire, and wars and rumors of wars that go off, and bank foreclosures, and homelessness and jobs, and that you lose, or then crazy jobs that are coming up, or
Mhm.
ghost money.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah,
need
yeah.
to be careful about ghost money, because that's out there. Uh, please be careful about ghost money, because people are going to
Mhm.
start trying to come at you with these quick rich schemes.
Mhm.
All that is pump and dump. Ghost money is out there, and a lot of
Mhm.
times it's different countries that are doing this. So be careful. But yeah, there's going to be multiple
Mhm.
diseases that pop up, and from now until
Mhm.
2029, you're going to see crazy diseases come up. I mean, one of the things that are now that's getting the big hype, and we got to be careful with it. We really have to be careful with what they're saying, because you
Mhm.
can also speak things into existence,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you got to be careful with it. So one of the careful things
Mhm.
that are even going to go on is, recently they had a big egg scare, right? So they had a lot of eggs, they had a lot of chickens over the wintertime that didn't actually produce eggs.
Mhm.
And this is why the price of eggs jumped real high, you know. So,
Mhm.
and they've come down to a certain brand of food that you were given the chickens actually had something else in it that
Mhm.
was enabling the chickens to actually
Yeah.
have eggs.
Mhm.
What happened if that was in the food that you eat,
Mhm. Exactly.
and the women all of a sudden couldn't produce eggs?
Can produce it. Yep.
So, like I'm saying, now is the time that people are now saying, "Dang, what would happen?"
Mhm.
If this couldn't, if you couldn't have that reproductive cycle.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, there's going to be a lot of things. There's going to be an ebb and flow. We
Yeah.
have to stay grounded a lot. That's one thing I tell my folks is you gotta stay grounded. You got to understand where you're at in this time frame. Who are you?
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
especially when it comes to that relationship to the Most High, you got to
Mhm.
understand who you are.
Mhm.
If you don't understand who you are, what you are, and you're still searching,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
you can get caught up in the windstorm. But if you laid your groundwork, if you humbled yourself, if you started to give back, if you started to see that path, like, look, I can see the wars over here, I can see
Mhm.
the wars over here. I don't have to get scared because my path is clear. You know what? I'm gonna do the best I can with
Yeah.
this homeless population. I'm gonna do the best I can with my family.
Yeah.
You know what? My brother's over there. I haven't talked to my brother in this amount of years. Let me go and talk to my
Mhm.
brother and just get
Mhm.
that piece back. Or maybe I've made a mistake over here and I need to correct that mistake
Mhm.
before I can get back on my path and walk this certain light. People need to stay grounded first.
Yeah.
Don't just be a sail in the wind. Stay grounded and
Mhm.
things that you need to do. And some of the base things is just look around you and see, you know what, there's a person over there who's in a worse off condition than I am,
Mhm.
homeless. Let me not pass them by. Let me get them some food.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't want to get out there and get them some food. Let me call an organization that can help, that has a ground game, that can get out there and help
Mhm.
with some food. So, that's what we want to be as far as the Adamite Kingdom Ministries is
Mhm.
ground game, even in the midst of all the stuff that is going on. We're not
Mhm.
sugarcoat stuff. We're not going to tell you some white man's going to fly out of the sky and save you
Mhm.
all. We're not
Yeah.
going to do all that. What we're going to do is to make sure that when we read the word, we understand the word, but the first part of that word is get out there and help thy neighbor.
Mhm.
And let's make sure we're doing that
Mhm.
first. You know,
Yeah, just the human aspect of just being a human, You know what I mean? Like literally, you know what I mean? Just as simple things. Now I have a question, because I know you, I know how you roll. So, okay. So we got this new world order, right? Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
And people, some here, people I hear they're saying, oh, Russian China's tag team. But then I hear, Putin. I've seen Putin have certain speeches talking about, over on that side they doing all this crazy stuff, But at the same time, when the pandemic happened, everybody came together. Is everybody in the same bed as far as it, or is there opposition, dealing with different countries, or are they all together?
I would say this:
Hmm.
wealth has no country.
Hmm. Yeah.
So if you among the super rich,
Hmm.
I ain't talking about $1 billion either.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
We're talking about the super rich.
Hmm.
Okay, they have no country.
Yeah.
In fact, one of their things is they gave up their passport. They gave up their citizenship to be part of that global.
Mm. I
Okay,
see what you're saying.
so that what goes on, it's funny. You really have to watch different things like Davos. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
let's see what the wealthy are talking about. I mean, right
Hmm.
there at Davos,
Yep.
they had a big meeting, and one of their meetings, one of their talking points was, well, what if we had a global pandemic?
Hmm.
How would that affect the market?
Hmm.
I mean, it literally wasn't 9 months later. Here comes a global pandemic.
Yep.
I mean, so you got to listen and you got to
Yeah.
watch. We cannot watch the NBA all the time.
Yeah.
We cannot as much as I love football. Okay, being a youth football coach,
I know, man.
I, you know,
I feel guilty watching it now.
yeah, I'm sitting there and watching them pass down. Oh yeah, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be doing this over here.
Exactly. Yo,
I'm supposed to be reading this over here. I mean,
I
how
take
am I?
that all the time, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
I
as
got work to do. How's watching this or doing this going to assist, any true advancement at all? Dealing, it's not. It's a waste of time. And I'm very, even though I love sports and I love what it did for me, it's for building character, but like, it's so irrelevant, especially now. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Or anything that's not preparing you as a elevating yourself or around you or preparing for the future. It's the end game. I mean, it's the time. It's crunch time. You talking
yeah,
about football in fourth quarter? This is the fourth quarter.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it really is. I would tell people to make sure that they're not, you know, have a good time, uh, enjoy yourself. Don't harp always on the negative, but make sure you prepare.
It's always balance. You gotta have balance.
You
Gotta
got
have
to have
balance.
balance, but you,
Yeah.
you
Yep.
really got to start preparing today.
Yes. I agree.
So if it's 72 hours you can only prepare for, and you
Hmm.
only put back for 72 hours, so you got to think to yourself, okay, uh, I need 72 hours worth of food,
Yeah.
medicine, water, fuel, and communication.
Yeah. Yep.
72 hours. And then from there, you can start going on to a week,
Hmm.
there 2 weeks, from there a month, from a month to 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, in a year.
I
But
was um I was at Costco today, and I was looking at some of the, like, the, I guess, I guess they call it survival food, if I'm not mistaken. You
mhm,
know, and I'm just looking at some of the stuff that they have, and you know, just thinking, you know, if you knowing all this now and you're not preparing for something like that that's set up for you, a year's worth of food that I saw, I think it was $2,000.
yeah,
A year's worth of food, good
mhm,
food. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? $2,000. I'm just like, yo. I mean, water. I think about this time, Seth. Like we talk about the train derailment, the stuff that
mhm,
happened in Baltimore. They blew up the what they blew up. It was a big hole that they blew up in the one of the water plants.
yeah,
Philadelphia, people scrambling. Yo, if y'all don't understand and see this, you know what I'm
mhm.
saying? If they mess with your water and they mess with your food and you don't have your own, where are you at?
I have no idea where people are at, but they're going to be standing in that line, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna be on the other side trying to help them out,
Yep.
trying to do the best I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it comes a point in time in which we won't be able to help them out.
Yeah. Exactly.
There won't be any food left
Mm-hmm.
to be able to help them out. So, one of the things that I've always said, especially in our group, is that, hey, we're going to do our best. We're going to get out there and we're going to help people as we can. Um, and we want other folks to make sure that they, see that homeless person and don't just write them off. Don't just
Mm-hmm.
say that's somebody else's problem,
Mm-hmm.
but have enough compassion to say, you know what, let me try to help. And if I can't help, if I don't feel comfortable helping, let me get with the group, or let me at least donate to a group
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that might be able to help them.
Yeah.
But again, you know, you take yourself. Don't go and get your nails done today.
Mm-hmm.
Take that $60 and go buy some canned food.
Yeah. Yep.
Go buy
Yep.
some water.
Mm-hmm.
Put something up. Get a flashlight. Get some batteries for it.
Mm-hmm.
Do that type of stuff. Make sure you have good running cars.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know in today's age, you got to make sure that you're taking care of home too, so you won't become homeless. You won't become
Mm-hmm.
destitute.
Yeah.
Take care of your house.
Okay. So, and kind of off that question and going in another galactically, universal, however you want to say it, is there opposition to this new world order? Is there opposition? Is it, there's because there's always a yin and yang, we always there's ma'at, there's balance, etc. Is there opposition to these people trying to complete their agenda?
Okay, so one of the great things that is happening is a polar shift between people who are ready to reclaim the world
Mm-hmm.
and make it in their image.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there's another group that says, no, we need to go beyond our world,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to, uh, lack of a better word, colonize another system
Yeah.
and be able to take those resources, because those resources are infinity.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be able to make sure that the people down here, now look, let's look at it. You're fighting wars over cell phone trinkets, because that's really what's going on. Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
next stuff is really cell phone trinkets that we're fighting over. So to get those resources that make cell phones, you only got two places that actually those minerals are at. So you got them in Africa, you got them
Mm-hmm.
in South America. Okay, so those resources, and plus you're fighting over oil. So you have the BRICS nations that have come together, and they're changing the monetary system
Mm-hmm.
right now. So
Mm-hmm.
that monetary system now is going to take away from the American system, which is the petrodollar.
Mm-hmm.
And that petrodollar has been propping up the American system for since the 60s.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So now you got the BRICS situation that says, hey, I'm not going to let you put sanctions on us and bend us to your rules.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna create our own currency.
Yeah.
And you got a country like Saudi Arabia, which is the biggest oil producer, and they're saying, okay, hey, yeah, we not only are we going to want to join BRICS, but we're also now going to take their money in their country's currency. A lot of people don't understand is that every nation used to have to keep American dollars
Yeah.
by oil.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, that's not true anymore. So oil
Yep.
can be bought in the yuan. Oil can be bought now in ruble.
Mm-hmm.
Oil can be bought now in yen and,
Mm-hmm.
and yen. So you have different countries now being able to buy oil in their money.
Yeah.
Well, what that does is it causes massive inflation because it's devaluing the dollar here in America, which is going to do what? Create more homeless.
Yeah. Exactly.
You got people like, I'm just going to throw out a name, guys. So, you got people like Elon Musk, love him or hate
Hmm.
him, this, that, and the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he is one of the people who are sending rockets up into space.
Hmm.
He is one of the people that has a vision, has a goal to get uh,
Colonize Mars.
into space. But also, you got to understand, his name was written a long time ago,
Hmm.
because you'll actually read that one of the books I forgot the name of the book, but it was one of the books, and they talk about the Elons, and it was a group of people that colonized Mars.
Mm.
So his name was written way before he was
Interesting.
even born. But when you think about where he wants to go and what he wants to do, he's saying, why are we fighting over little bitty rocks and
Yeah.
little bitty oil?
Hmm.
We should be out here on Mars, and then we should
Hmm.
be mining the Kuiper Belt. The
Yeah.
next president, and that's what a lot of people need to be looking for, is not the next president who says, oh, we got black issues and we got white issues and we got, this. Nah, the next president says we need to put 50 million Americans uh, in the outer space, mining the Kuiper Belt, on the moon, on Mars. Bro, that's the one I'm,
Space Force. Space Force.
that's the one
Trump is
I'm
throwing
voting
the
for,
Space
because
Force out.
that's a
Yeah.
mission.
Yeah.
That's the goal. You got to
Hmm.
think about how that would change the American people in this
Yeah.
dynamic, and the
Hmm.
schools. If the schools are out there, or school, I mean, our kids are going to school, and the only thing they worried about is what tennis shoes they have on.
Hmm.
What's the new crazy dance, and can
Yeah.
they do it? And pulling out things for TikTok. I
Hmm.
mean, and World Star, and getting into fights. They don't even. I mean, they're not even
Yep.
reading and writing. I mean, people are graduating without even being able to read and write at the fifth grade level,
Yep.
and that's
You
white
know,
folks.
yeah. The program, the system, the program, the Matrix has done a wonderful job raising and putting not only black folks but the world, you know what I'm saying, in this amnesia. I mean, not even, I'm not saying amnesia. In this, what's a better word I should say? This sleep. You know what I'm saying? This blindness. It's done a great job. This system, woof, it's done a
Yeah,
beautiful thing.
yeah, it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. Like
Hmm.
I said, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled is telling people he don't exist.
Yep, exactly, exactly. No, and man, that's it's very interesting. I love the way you answer your questions because, like, you making me think now. You make me thinking about things in that level because there's so much other levels beyond even the even answering the questions like you did about how the elite, you know what I'm saying, their mindset is not remotely close to anybody that's dealing with this. Elon, I mean, going out to the space and stars, this is the reality in day and time with, you know what I'm saying? We're dealing with these individuals in which the future, what they're looking at for the future. And like you said, man, most of us are just, worrying about the most recent crazy dance or who wins the Super Bowl, all this kind of nonsense. And these people, you know what I'm saying, have, you know, they're on such a higher level. And it's mind-boggling. You know what I mean? It's mind-boggling, man.
It is mind-boggling that they were able to take small visions, and they got the resources, and they're able to control their vision and go to the next level. But
Yeah.
what I want to
Yeah.
tell people is that you also have a vision. God's given everybody a vision,
Yes.
a goal, um, and a gift.
Hmm.
And he's really given people gifts. Now, what you do with those gifts
Yeah.
is up to you. Some people take their gifts and they just hide them. And they put them down here. Some people use their gifts, but they use them on foolish stuff.
Hmm.
You know,
Exactly.
Some people take their gifts and they want to benefit man. Well, hey, he took his gift, he's benefiting man. What are you doing with your gift? What we're doing over here at the Adamite Kingdom Ministries, we're taking the gifts that God has given us. I got a beautiful wife with a big heart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, intellectual brain power is unbelievable. Then she called in her sisters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sylvia and Tanika.
Mm-hmm.
These young ladies, man, I mean, they are phenomenal. They are
Mm-hmm.
out there, and they're able to put stuff together. And they're like, yeah, we want to get out there and help the folks too, but we want to do it differently. We don't always want to be just like this. We want to have a different flair to it, and we want to be able to showcase not only what we can do to help the homeless, but then we want to be able to showcase um, African dance talent
Mm-hmm.
and be able to showcase black excellence and being able to showcase uh, uh, computers and analytical stuff and maybe you can take the gardening skills and you can showcase this stuff and we can help young sisters believe in themselves and do things on the next level. See, they're taking their talents and instead of creating the next, you know, video or the next TikTok meme,
Yeah.
they're taking those talents and they're giving them back to a younger generation that needs it,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
desperately asking right now, what does our future hold? Because see, we've given away our future. We've mortgaged our future to somebody else, to a corporation that is not even in the United States, but to a corporation that's outside the United States. We are now indebted a new slave system that we've given it to them, and we're telling them, well, tell us what our future is. Nah, you go out there and you create your future. You do the stuff that you want to do, right? We at the Adamite Kingdom Ministries, we're creating our future. We want our own kingdom. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to create our own kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to sit here and wait for not only America, but the rest of the world to tell us what to do. No, we're going to go ahead and create that. And we're going to
Yeah.
kick and drag some people along with us, but that's okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because again, our best situation, our future is in front of us, and we're going to fight for it. And we want other people to fight for their future too. Now, it is not going to be with swords and shields and this, that, and the other. It's going to be with intellect. This
Mm-hmm.
future is going to be fought with those who have the intellect to do it. So that's why they're dumbing down half of the population, more than half of the population now they're dumbing down
Yeah.
because they don't want the people to fight with that intellect. I mean, people are they call them the woke generation, and that's a negative connotation now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the
Yeah.
woke generation, and you got this idiot over here talking about how bad it is, this, that, and the other. But yeah, people are waking up. They're waking up out of that
Yeah.
slumber. They're waking up out of that sleep because we've been asleep for a long time.
Yep. Yep.
You know, in fact, we have
Thousands of
been,
years, man.
yeah, we've been knocked
Yep.
unconscious,
Yep. Yep.
from slavery to
You,
Jim
you,
Crow to,
mm-hmm.
to riots. I mean, we've been literally knocked unconscious for a long time. So yeah, we are just getting up. We're just
You
waking up.
know, it's interesting to me because there was a fortunately the universe put me in a position of learning from great master teachers at an earlier age. You know what I mean? Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Malachi Z. York, the Honorable Olive Brown. I can go on and on talk about these great individuals that fortunately were gave me this information to make me see how this life really, how what the truth, our story, how how this true existence is here. But I'm gonna tell you something. Now I'm starting to see how much effort they put in the line to us about everything.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm sitting there looking at this stuff. looking and thinking that all black people were all slaved up and coming to Africa. Coming to find out, no, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't the case. There's so many things that I'm starting to learn, and which people are really starting to learn. Is that we've been lied to, you
Hmm.
know, on almost every single level,
Yeah.
you know, every aspect,
Well,
everything.
they definitely want to keep you deaf, dumb, and stupid.
Yeah,
Okay, there's money to be made in somebody who's deaf, dumb, and stupid.
exactly. Hmm.
Because that person who's deaf, dumb, and stupid, you don't give him a couple dollars, and what he's going to turn
Hmm.
around and do? Give it
Yeah,
right back to you. Because why?
exactly,
Deaf, dumb,
exactly.
and stupid.
Yeah, exactly,
You know,
exactly.
and if you look at how a lot of black families run their financial system, they're deaf, dumb, and stupid because they're so easy to give it right back to master. They're they literally, it comes into their hand and it's given right back to them. So unless we start teaching ourselves some financial literacy and we start telling ourselves, no, we need to leave something to our children and our children's children, then we will never get it. And that's one thing that we need to take a lot of that ancient African knowledge that they were able to give. They were given, you know, the, the whole village concept, even when the village was split, and he's saying, okay, well, you need to go off to this section. That village wasn't split. They weren't no more than 25 miles away, but they were given cattle. You got 12 head of cattle. You got this, that, and the other to start your life over again, to start a new life with this sister who's from this village, right? And you bought that diary for that young sister to be a part of this village, and then you guys started to grow then. But we're not taking those same concepts. What do? Little Jimmy, get the hell out the house when you're 18 and screw you and bump you and go work at
Yeah.
McDonald's and this, that, and the other. I don't
Hmm.
want to deal with you crazy, this, that, and
Hmm.
we're not taking those concepts and no,
Yeah.
we need to make sure that, hey, we're giving each of the kids something so that they can have and grow on.
Hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
kids got to be of that mindset of let me not only keep what I've been given, but let me expand on it.
Yeah.
But see, if they're being taught, and this goes back to the fathers in the house,
Hmm.
if they're being taught only to spend money
Hmm.
because I need the next Gucci shoes or the next
Hmm.
herringbone chain or $50,000 earring or whatever have you,
Hmm.
to live in a $3 million penthouse that you don't own. I never understand that concept.
Yeah. Me
I
neither.
never have. You
Me
actually
neither.
do not own the property, but you spent $3
Hmm.
million to get into it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Never understand that. But black folks are running to that stuff right
Oh
now.
yeah, they love it.
Dumb,
Hmm.
which is just retarded.
Following, following the lead of the Joneses, all the nonsense that that this program has again fed them. You
Oh
know. You
yeah,
know.
the Joneses, Becky, Kardashians, all
Yeah.
all the other folks that they have brought up to showcase how you get delusionally
Yeah.
changed.
Distracted. You said something earlier. It was interesting because you were talking about like the crazy memes. I saw one of the realest memes I ever saw in my life, like a couple months ago. It had a picture of black family. It was a sister and a her husband. It looked like probably I would say in the 1930s or 40s, right? And they were in front of their little house. You know what I'm saying? They were tilling the ground, and it said something like, our ancestors were wealthy. They had their own home, they had their own land, they can make their own food, and etc. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
like you said, we've gone so far from that with all this craziness that don't realize that's true life sustainability. That's what life's about. Everything else is just like sugar cookies, or whatever what do you call it? Like fantasy. You know what I'm saying? That's not real. It's not real. It's not, and we need to wake up to that fact.
Right, and I think that's one thing is that when they kicked the man out of the house,
Mm-hmm.
and the government then stepped in to be, the provider,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and he, said, okay, the government says, well, I'm gonna give you the cheese and the
Mm-hmm.
milk
Milk.
and the bread, and
Yeah.
he was happy with that, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and little Timmy, know he was going to get the cheese and bread because
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to make sure that the daddy who took his kids up and ran to Detroit to work on the factory floor.
Mm-hmm.
We want to make sure that he only gets X amount of hours, and
Yeah.
truthfully, we want to cut those hours so he's the last to get hired and the first one to get fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, way back when, those folks that were on their land. Now, our biggest problem is that, yeah, we understood how to farm, we understand animal husbandry,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
how to take care of land. Um, but now we have to understand. Now, back then we didn't understand. We understood. We just weren't in position.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we're in position, so we got to be able to hold our land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
able to fight for our land. We got to be able to
Exactly.
protect our land.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then not only that, we have to have enough fortitude to say, okay, how can I go get some other land that's not in this land?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I agree 100%.
Because who's really fighting for us?
Mm-hmm.
If the American government fails, do we still keep our land?
Exactly. Exactly right. What would stop anybody besides just going in and it being the trail of teals of urine or the land just being taken over? Who would stop that?
Right now, I mean, truthfully, the American government system fails.
Mm-mm.
We have a banking crisis that wipes out everything. If you have
Yep.
a war that goes on,
Mm-hmm.
America loses because of
Mm-hmm.
incompetence.
Mm-hmm.
What happens to your land?
Exactly.
Who owns that?
What's that movie? Red Dawn. Remember Red Dawn?
Oh yeah, I remember Red Dawn.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I remember Red Dawn like it
Mm-hmm.
was, yesterday.
Yep. You
You
know what
know,
I'm saying? That's not as far fetched as people think because actually I saw something recently in which people always talk about, oh, the Mexican people come up the borders. No, I saw people getting Chinese people, Chinese nationals at the borders getting
mm,
coming in drones. You know what
oh,
I'm saying? Oh, everybody, you want to put all the Muslims or whatever the case may be that might be coming in and making cells. Man,
yeah.
y'all looking in the wrong direction, man.
Well, people always, they get mad at me sometimes, but
Mm-hmm.
I try to tell people that there's not and it is a slight. It is messed up. There's
Mm-hmm.
not a black nation nor black people that own any type of stealth bomber,
Mm.
nuclear weapons,
Yeah.
tanks, or anything that can take over a country.
Yeah.
And if the only people that you are worried about is black folks,
Mm-hmm.
something's totally wrong with you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Something is totally wrong because you're only worried
Mm-hmm.
about, well, you ain't really worried about black folks, you're worried about black men.
Yeah.
So if that's the only thing that you're worried about, you're doomed to get taken over,
Yeah. Exactly.
you
Yep.
know. And that is a big problem. That is a
So
problem.
okay. I see a lot of things. Do you think that I see a lot of things about solar flares coming? I see a lot of things about I see just saw a tornado down in what Arkansas tore up a lot of stuff, Mississippi. Do you think now going back biblically, you know what I mean? We
Mhm.
did see the Bible, even the cuneiform text, the Enumerations, Gilgamesh, they talk about floods and different disasters that kind of wipe things out. In addition to all this that man is doing, you know what I'm saying? What about that aspect of nature's being like, yo, all right, let's flip these poles and floods everywhere. Let's get rid of y'all. Do you think that is a possibility as well?
Well, people talk about revelations, and they
Hmm.
talk about that in this time it'll be the same time in the same place in the same atmosphere as it was in the days of Noah.
Yeah, yeah,
And yes, there is a time where things change.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, and the earth itself, whether the cosmic mother or the sky father, there is going to be a time in which things get flipped upside down.
yeah. I agree.
Um,
Hmm.
if we haven't aligned ourselves with our true nature,
Hmm.
we won't be able to save that. We won't be able to save, and this goes into the Adamite kingdom faith. Okay,
Hmm.
the Adamite kingdom faith, we deal with Adam's molecules, and we deal with the person being able to genetically change
Yeah.
their outcome.
Hmm.
So if we can't get to that space
Yeah.
and that time in which we can then attune with our cosmic energy, we won't be able to defend ourselves. You got to
Yeah.
understand that black folks, Adamites, we were there in the beginning.
Yes, indeed.
So all other folks come out of us,
That's the truth.
but you got to understand,
Science.
God
Hmm.
blew the ruach, the breath of life, in
Hmm.
us first.
Hmm. Hmm.
He didn't mention anybody else.
Hmm.
He blew the breath of life, the ruach,
Hmm.
inside of us first. So
Hmm.
that's why we call ourselves Adamites.
Hmm.
Okay? A lot of people say, "No, we're Hebrews, this, that, and the other." No, we're Adamites because we
Hmm.
have the breath of life in us first. That's why we act the way that we act sometimes.
Hmm. Hmm.
We have that spiritual connection. You go
Hmm.
outside any church and you start singing, and you start feeling that
Oh.
spirit swirling
Hmm.
around. Our war is not with humans.
Exactly. Exactly
Our
right.
war against prince and principalities that are out there. That's
Hmm.
our war. And
Hmm.
we have to be ready for that war. But
Yeah.
if we're not ready for that war because we're drunk and we're on drugs and we're beating women and we're disavowing our children, and we're not raising ourselves up to be strong, powerful spiritual beings,
Hmm.
then we can't fend off. We can't even save what little space we have, which is our home. We can't even save our home because we haven't developed ourselves enough
Hmm.
to be able to defend off what we were told what we were going to do. You know
Hmm.
what? You got to understand why there was a war in heaven to even begin with.
Yeah.
That war in the heaven was over the Adamites
Hmm.
because Satan couldn't believe it. You giving these guys this, you giving these crazy looking monkey creatures this much power?
Hmm.
That's what he was mad about.
Hmm.
You gave them this much power.
Hmm.
You love them over us?
Oh, yep.
We
We've
should
been
be,
around here. Yep.
you,
You're right.
what are y'all doing?
Hmm. You're right. That's what it says.
So that breath of life is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But what are we doing with it?
Exactly.
We're taking life, we're shooting each other, and we're taking life away. That's not what God called you to do. That's not what He called you to do.
You know, I
His
really.
word was God's word in the beginning was be fruitful and multiply.
Hmm. Yeah.
Be fruitful and multiply. You know,
Yeah.
take care of this garden that I set you in.
Hmm.
Name everything in this garden. Okay, for you were given dominion
Dominion.
over
Yeah.
it. So if we're not doing that, if we're not creating our garden space,
Hmm.
if we're not creating the space where our women can be comfortable in, where they can do what they need to do.
Grow and prosper. And I think that, and I applaud you what you're doing, Adamite Kingdom, and in all regards, because Me personally, in just a short years, man, I've seen people, I've seen different organizations on different levels come together and really make a difference and have culture backing this change, and having culture, the discipline, organization, and it being backed upon a culture. You know what I mean? Being the foundation, being culture, and I just think about this all the time. It's just like how much our lack of culture is another reason why we've been astray. You know what I mean?
Oh, correct, correct.
Yeah,
And that's one of the biggest things is that we're missing our culture because
yeah,
again, nobody really talks about our culture because we're scared of it. Okay,
yeah,
because first of all, when we look at our culture, we turn around and we look at the Africans, and then they give us a negative picture. You got to
yeah.
understand. I don't know what. Well, here in America, right?
Hmm.
So you got about third, maybe fourth grade, maybe about fourth grade when they start teaching like world history, this, that,
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We started watching those video clips. Those reels that used to
Hmm.
going down, right, and they were showing you Africa, and they were
Hmm.
showing you all the butt naked people running
Yeah,
around,
yeah. Bones in the nose, bula bula.
bones in their nose, and this, that, and the
Hmm.
other. And then you came up with that word, oh, you big African booty scratcher.
Hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then the first thing we did is we wanted not to accept any of that.
Yeah.
We ain't
Hmm.
that. And now we've come up with all this other stuff. Oh, we Indians and we Arabs and we say everything else
Hmm.
except for the Africans.
Hmm.
But every last one of them say the first thing. Well, there was Adam, and he was naked and unashamed, and that's how God created him,
Hmm.
naked and unashamed,
Hmm.
because he was created in the image of God.
Yeah, Miss God.
So if he was created in the image of God, how is he walking around with robes and all this other stuff? I mean,
Hmm.
some of this stuff just doesn't make any sense.
Hmm.
you know, if God's going to create you naked and you're unashamed, then how are you going to walk around? Hmm. You start scratching your head and itching your butt.
Hmm.
Because then when you look back at the African people, I look at beauty.
Hmm.
I look at amazement. I look at God's creation.
Yeah.
I said they're beautiful because those people, in the Adamite kingdom's faith, we look at a certain group, right?
Hmm.
So um, we look at the Himba and the Kosa, right? Because we know in our group how we deal with it is that those are the first people because
Hmm.
we know that their DNA matches everybody's DNA on the
On the
face of
planet.
the
Yeah.
planet.
Hmm.
Okay. And so when people look at and they want to take the Bible and they want to take the word Adam to Adam, which means red people
Hmm.
or mud people or
Reddish brown. Yeah.
reddish brown. Well, then we
Hmm.
look at the Himba because that's what they use, the red ochre
Hmm.
on their skin. There's no other Arab group that puts that red ochre on their skin. So again, we understand where we come from. See, those are all the stuff that they left out
Yeah.
because they were trying to fit their narrative in a 6,000 year history.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
history goes way
Way beyond that. Yeah.
2 million years ago. Our
Yeah.
history.
Exactly.
So when it goes back that far, you can understand that, okay, yeah, we were back there in the days when you had Cro-Magnon man, you had you know
Dinosaurs.
Epiphanes, you you had all these uh,
Yeah.
you had Homo erectus, you had
Hmm.
you know
Hmm.
along with Homo sapiens. So
Yep. 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 That's
you
true.
had this, that, and the other. You had the Neanderthal running around at that.
Hmm. Hmm.
You had all these different groups.
Hmm.
But you got to remember, there was a destruction at that time too.
Yep.
There was a big shakeup
That sure was. Yep.
because there was another group that was also engineering, bioengineering, taking the human cell, taking the atom, and changing it into something
Yeah.
that wasn't supposed to be.
Evolutionary man. Yep.
So there was a big shakeup at that time.
Hmm.
And what are they doing now? They're creating man in a different image. And,
Yeah.
we don't have to really get into that, but the image of man right now ain't don't look too good.
Yeah, it wasn't like it used to be, and
No,
especially the original man.
not the original man. So we become
Yeah,
something totally different.
yeah. I think it's and like I said, I applaud you what you got going on. I think it's very important. Everybody watch. You know, it's a lot different when people just talk about certain things as opposed to do like what you're doing, Adamite Kingdom, being out there. Because I know we talk. I know what y'all got going on there, and these people are in the trenches. These people are Adamite Kingdom. They're out here, you know, in the trenches trying to help people. People, all humanity. You know what I'm saying? So it
Mhm.
definitely is very important to help. Donate. You know what I'm saying? Don't take much money to, you know what I'm saying? They're doing a lot of good things. You know what I'm saying? Spread the word, donate. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't want to do it yourself, that's fine. Just donate some money to them. They're gonna do it for you. They're regardless. They're gonna be out there doing their work. They don't
You
be
know,
talking it. They do their works. They do their work, and then they got the receipts to show it as well. You know what I'm saying? So very important. You know, but it I I don't know. It's again, like I said at the beginning of the conversation, even though we got a lot of craziness going on in the world, don't believe the hype, man. This is a beautiful time to be alive. You know what
go
I'm
ahead.
saying?
Go ahead.
You signed this contract to be here at this time. Believe it or not, it might sound crazy in saying this, but you are here for a specific reason. This seed was planted some 30, 20, 40, 50 years ago for
Hmm.
this time. And guess what? You're alive. You made it here. You know what I'm saying? Don't give up now. You know what I'm saying? The finish line is right around the corner. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? You
Hmm.
know, again, like we talk about in the Polka Dot Rabbit podcast, be the best person you can be, because the reality is that the collective consciousness throughout this whole world, if we can start to literally get to the point of respecting and having peace and love with each other, we can change the dynamics ourselves as a collective consciousness and kick these people that are trying to do all this negative stuff out and change and make this world a beautiful place that it should be. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's a reality. It might sound crazy, might sound far fetched, but that's a reality.
No, no, we can actually change a lot more. We
Yeah.
start with Adam. You start with your son.
Mm-hmm.
Start with your daughter. You whisper into
Mm-hmm.
their ear. You
Yeah.
make it clear the goals that they need to meet. You keep on
Mm-hmm.
top of them. They're going to make that change.
Yeah.
You got to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
You got to protect them. But they're going to make that change. And then you got to keep it going and keep passing it down.
Yeah.
Pass down those secrets. Be the bearer of good light.
That's it. I
Be
love
the
it.
bearer of good light.
Mm-hmm.
Not just light,
Yeah.
good
Good
light.
life.
And
Woo.
brother, boy,
Boy,
it's been
man. Tonight, as you know, good brother Seth, as I always like talk, I love talking to you, man. And we haven't had you on in a while, and I'm actually kind of happy because this is it was a good, we've had a lot of things to kind of use as a foundation to speak upon tonight. If y'all haven't already, please, check out the Adamite Kingdom. Go to I saw the website. Actually, let me see. I got the website here. You already you sent it. Put this up here so y'all all see it. Um, Hold on one second. Bear with me. Oh, hold on a second. Let me find it real quick. There we go. I'm gonna let. Actually, I'm gonna keep this up until we head on out.
okay.
You know, if it'll allow me real quick. There we go. Give me a few seconds. See. There we go. There we go.
Right.
Yeah. So go to the Adamite Kingdom Ministries.org.
Mm-hmm.
Check them out what they're doing. Please donate. You know what I'm saying? They're doing wonderful things. You know what I'm saying? I can attest. I can I can definitely attest to the things that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And be a great thing. Like I said, if you want to get in our streets, donate. They're gonna get out there in the streets, going to make it happen. You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying? So, but I would, love to have you. Maybe even the whole crew on. Again in the near future. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna get everybody back. I'm sorry that
Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
Al
Cool.
and the rest of the crew's not here. Again,
Mm-hmm.
this is one of the work nights. I know I put in a long day already,
Mm-hmm.
and my eyes are getting heavy.
Yeah.
And I got to
Yeah.
get up early in the morning, but All the rest of the folks, they like, nah, we underneath the bed right now. We sleep. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd love to get everybody here, and somehow
Yeah.
we can make that happen. And
We'll
we can.
just do it we'll do it on a weekend. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing more shows on the weekend in the near future. So we can, that way, we can do it. You know what I'm saying? And let's do it, brother. So you're always welcome here in the Polka Dot Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. You know what I'm saying? And appreciate everything you're doing, man, and all your knowledge and the dedication you have to uplifting humanity and also again waking up our folks. So you know I appreciate you. I can't say no more, man. I'm out of here. You got anything else you want to give the folks?
Hey, again, go to AdamiteKingdomMinistries.org. If you can donate, I really would appreciate it. It gets our team out there so we can make this happen out there. There's a lot of homeless camps. We are going to be out there again, not this Sunday, but next Sunday. We'll be back out there again, handing stuff out. This Sunday, we're gathering more resources and surveying some of the spots we're going to be going to make the most impact. And we're going to be doing a youth ministry program, I think in Macon. I think that's coming in June, in the Macon and the Warner Robins area. I believe that's coming in June. So, hey, we're going to be getting out there, guys. Uh, I really do appreciate everybody. Like, share, subscribe to the Polka Dot webcast. We surely do appreciate we surely do appreciate Brother Zozer, letting us come on his podcast. We
My
surely do
pleasure.
appreciate that, man. And we're gonna try to get the whole team back again because I know you don't like looking at my ugly face. I know you all like the beautiful women, so I'm gonna make sure that they get back here and they get on this webcast and you can all see them. I can hide out in the back, and you all can see what lovely sisters we have working with us. So surely do appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, and always, brother. You know what I'm saying? Family, man. You know what I'm saying? Family. We gotta like-minded people. We gotta stick together. We really gotta, prepare for this shift. Uplift each other. It's a like I said, it's a beautiful time to be alive. But you have to prepare spiritually, mentally, physically. You gotta be prepared.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? For us, Polka Dot Rabbit Podcast, of course, go to polka.rabbitpodcast.com and check out the book. I know this thing is kind of funny because you can only see me, but that there's a book behind there. Um, but that's it on our end, and we'll I'm sure we will see the good brother and the rest of the tribe on here in the near future. We'll keep everybody tuned, and we out of here, man. Peace and love.
All right. Peace. Thanks again.